I think a lot of your thoughts of me being autistic is that I don't subscribe to.
Definitely go and watch that video and also reflect on how, again, when it comes to the awareness of any mental disorders and mental health now, it's great that it's becoming a little bit more accepted and less stigmatized. However, because it just becomes such a hot topic in a sense, people are going to be going around saying that you are probably autistic, you might have ADHD, you might be doing this, and this, and armchair diagnosing others that they don't personally know. And with this particular creator, I've never actually come across it. This is just a video that my friend Callie sent to me. Is that with autism specifically, it is much more than just not prescribing to social norms. Okay, and I need everybody to really recognize that the criteria that is in the DSM is very much connected to autistic people. And if you don't fall within those criteria and the criteria that is needed in order to be diagnosed with autism, you're not autistic. And the biggest factor too that people seem to be forgetting when it comes to self-diagnosing yourself with autism or getting diagnosed with autism is that you must have exhibited traits as a child. The thing with this is that when it comes to a differential diagnosis and understanding which diagnosis actually fits somebody, an individual, more acutely and accurately is when we can differentiate when these things started, when it first, what kind of traits are exemplifying, and how often and how much of a deficit these are causing somebody or that individual. With autism specifically, this is a neurological disorder that you are born with. So if you have a neurodevelopmental disorder like autism, you are going to be born with it. And your traits are going to always be exemplified when you were a child. Versus if you have BPD and MPD, this is something I learned from my amazing, brilliant friends, Aiken and Callie, where these are traits that are actually not born with, but are created because they are part of personality disorders. And personality disorders are usually created from trauma. And they could start at usually either like a teenage or later age when your brain has received so much trauma, because trauma is very much traumatic. It could change your brain and how you think because of how traumatic it is. So please factor that in, because if you don't fit that timeline, if you've never exhibited any autistic traits as a child, then you are not autistic. And that is fine. And you need to explore different disorders that fit into the context of your whole timeline, not as a child, but also when you start to exhibit more traits or different personalities or different things that are happening in your life. Because with that, you can find the better disorder that fits your needs. And it's not always autism. And I feel sorry for this guy. It's that he knows that he's not autistic, but his friends, because he just doesn't agree with a lot of social norms, and a lot of people are like that in general. They're not just autistic people. A lot of people just don't agree and see the injustices when it comes to social things or social norms. And either because of their upbringing or again, because of trauma, they don't agree with those things. But that does not mean they're autistic. So please, for the love of God, for others and for yourself, please stop armchair diagnosing people that you have no idea of their history, their personality, their background, etc. Because it doesn't help in order to bring awareness about other mental health disorders.